Hey, wait a second. Aren't these the same thing? Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video, and welcome to a second taste test video in the same kind of series, if you want to call it. I wanted to try out a couple of bags of what we call here in Canada potato chips, but one of them is British. These ones here, Walkers, and in there they're called crisps. So for my British friends, these are crisps. And these are chips, but for me, they're kind of both the same thing. But what I remember somebody mentioning in passing once is how much they love Walker's cheese and onion crisps. And somebody said, it might have even been my wife now to think about it, I think that's kind of the same as what we have here, sour cream and onion chips. These are Ruffles brand. And I thought, you know, I can get a bag of these from our local British shop. Why don't I try Walker's cheese and onion crisps and see, is it true? Do they taste exactly the same as Ruffles sour cream and onion? I mean, it's onion in both cases, and I wonder if the sour cream of this one versus the cheese of this one, are the artificial flavors like that different from each other? So I'm going to pour them into the bowl and we're going to see what we got. So contestant 1 is Walker's cheese and onion crisps. They look quite nice. Contestant 2, Ruffles sour cream and onion chips. Now, these ones are, because of the very name, these are ridged, these are Ruffles, these are the ones that are ripply chips. So there is a very slight difference in the texture. You know, we can see that the Walkers on this side are kettle corn chips, you know, standard, whoops, I'm dropping it, standard chip shape, and there's no ridges to them, whereas the Ruffles are quite obviously ruffled. But we're not here to check out the texture. That may impact the mouthfeel, which is fine. What I'm going for is the actual flavor. The onion, I'm sure, is going to be present in both. But how about the cheese versus the sour cream? Let's start off, since I'm a cheese fan, let's start off with Walker's cheese and onion crisps. Okay, I think I've got a general idea of what the Walker's is like. Now, let's try sour cream and onion. You know what? They are almost exactly the same flavor. These are practically the same thing. I think there's a very slight level more spice with the Walkers, but it's a real close comparison. Let's do another. Okay, the mouthfeel of the ridges from Ruffles slightly impacts the judgment, but to be perfectly honest, Walkers has a better flavor. Of the two, I like Walkers more. They are not carbon copies of each other, but they are so close. And that could be the onion element. I mean, onion's a very strong flavor compared to cheese or sour cream. But I would say, in the case of Walker's, the flavor is a little more leaning forward, but it is very much the same as Ruffles. Let's do one more. You know, now that I've had a couple, the Ruffles has like an aftertaste. Like there is a secondary kick-in of the flavor. Walker's is right there at the beginning and then kind of fades away. Ruffles starts slow, but then it meets up. And I think they are almost the exact same flavor. It's a really, really close race. Like, if I had gotten, I don't know, salt and vinegar or something like that, or a barbecue flavor. I don't know if Walker's does that. I know they do roast chicken and other flavors that are not available much here in Canada, but any other flavor, they would definitely be very noticeable. But I think these two are practically the same. Let's do another. Okay, they are 90%, 95% the same. Initially a more spicy flavor to the Walker's cheese and onion. The Ruffles takes a moment, but it meets it at the end gate. And they are 95% the same flavor. They are not 100%, but my goodness, you got to do an A-B comparison to really tell. If I had either of these, now regardless of the fact this is flat and this is ridgy, if I had either of these sitting on a table at a party and there was somebody who was to ask, what flavor is this? And they were to be told, oh, it's Walker's cheese and onion, they'd go, oh yeah, that sounds right. Or if you told them, no, it's Ruffles sour cream and onion, I imagine that person would also say, oh yeah, I can see that. So you are looking at practically the same flavor, but it is not 100%. It's not a carbon copy. They're not using the same artificial flavor, but my God, they are very, very close. But this has been a fun little experiment, and I think I've got another one of these in me, so we'll see you again in a little while. But I'm going to leave that there. Until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.